Every time you save a photo to your smartphone in the cloud, it embarks on a journey halfway across the world, into buildings as large as football fields, guarded like high-security prisons. What really happens to your data there? And how does the cloud actually work? Welcome to a journey behind the scenes of the cloud. Today you will understand how this invisible technology works, which makes our modern life possible in the first place. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will see the cloud with completely different eyes. Let's start with the truth. The cloud is not a cloud. It doesn't float somewhere in the sky. It's not ethereal or magical. The cloud is very real and very physical. When you upload your photos to the cloud, when you stream Netflix, when you send an email via Gmail, all of this happens in massive data centers spread across the entire planet. Imagine a building as large as several football fields. Inside, thousands of servers stand lined up in endless rows. These servers are essentially powerful computers that never sleep. They run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They are protected by high-security systems, kept alive by cooling systems, and powered by gigantic amounts of electricity. That is the cloud. That is the physical reality behind the abstract term. But here's where it gets interesting. The true magic of the cloud lies not in these servers themselves, but in the way they are organized. And this is where a concept comes into play that changed everything: virtualization. Previously, IT worked like this. You had a computer on which a program ran, one server, one task. The problem, insanely inefficient. Most servers were only 10 or 20% utilized. The rest was wasted capacity, wasted energy, wasted money. Virtualization solves this problem ingeniously. Imagine you could split a single physical server into 10, 20, or even 100 virtual servers. Each of these virtual servers behaves like an independent computer, has its own operating system, its own programs, but in reality they all share the resources of a single physical server. That is virtualization, and that is why cloud computing works economically at all. Let me show you what that means. When you upload a file to the cloud, it is broken into small pieces, encrypted and distributed across multiple servers. Some parts are in Frankfurt, others in Amsterdam, and still others in Dublin. The system knows exactly where each part is located and can reassemble them in fractions of a second. Why all this effort? For 3 reasons: security, speed, and reliability. If a data center fails, your data is not lost. If you're in Berlin, the system loads it from the nearest data center, and if millions access it simultaneously, the system automatically distributes the load across hundreds of servers. But the cloud is more than just storage space, much more. Here comes a concept you need to understand: service models. The cloud essentially offers 3 different levels of services, and each has its own role. The first level is called infrastructure as a service. Imagine you are a company and you need servers, storage space, and network capacity. Previously, you would have had to buy all this hardware, set it up in your own data center, and maintain it yourself. With infrastructure as a service, you simply rent these resources over the internet. You only pay for what you actually use. Need more capacity? A few clicks, and you have it. Need less? Simply reduce it. This is flexibility at a level that was previously unthinkable. The second level is platform as a service. Here it gets even more abstract. Imagine you are a developer and want to program an app. With platform as a service, you not only get the servers, but also the entire development environment, all the tools, databases, everything you need to build and operate your app. You don't have to worry about the infrastructure, not about updates, not about security patches. You simply focus on your code. The rest runs in the background. And then there's the third level, software as a service. This is the level you probably know best. Gmail is software as a service. Netflix is software as a service. Spotify is software as a service. You use the software directly via your browser or an app without ever thinking about where it runs or how it works. All the complexity is hidden from you. You simply open Gmail and write an email. The fact that this email is stored on servers in different data centers, that it is automatically backed up, encrypted, and synchronized. All of this happens invisibly in the background. Now you might be asking yourself, how fast does the internet have to be for all this to work? The answer: extremely fast. The network technology behind the cloud is a marvel of engineering. When you access a file, your request passes through a complex network of fiber optic cables, routers, and switches. Load balancers distribute traffic evenly. Content delivery networks ensure that content is cached in data centers worldwide so you can retrieve it at lightning speed. But here's something most people don't know. The cloud is evolving. There's a new concept called serverless computing. The name is misleading because servers still exist. But as a developer, you no longer have to worry about them. You write your code, upload it, and the cloud only executes it when it's needed. You only pay for the milliseconds your code runs. This is the future. A cloud that automatically adapts to every need, provides resources only when needed, and releases them immediately afterwards. Let's illustrate this with an example. When you stream a series on Netflix, your device sends a request to the nearest data center. There, the series is distributed across hundreds of virtual servers. A load balancer decides in milliseconds which server processes your request. The stream is compressed, encrypted, and sent to you in real time via a content delivery network. If millions stream simultaneously, the system automatically scales up. All of this happens invisibly, automatically, in real time. That's the cloud. An entire ecosystem of hardware, software, networks, and intelligent algorithms. A system so complex that no single person can fully grasp it, yet so elegantly designed that it simply works for you. And here's the most important insight. The cloud is a fundamental shift in how we interact with technology. Previously, you had to own hardware to use computing power. Today, you rent it as needed. Previously, you had to install software. Today, you use it via the browser. Previously, your data was tied to one location. Today, it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. This shift has changed our world. It has enabled small startups to reach millions of people without investing millions in infrastructure. It has made remote work possible and democratized access to computing power. And it is driving the next revolution, artificial intelligence. The massive AI models you use today would not exist without the cloud. But let me tell you something else important. There are 3 types of clouds: the public cloud, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud; the private cloud, exclusively for a company; and the hybrid cloud, a combination of both. And the cloud is not perfect. The energy consumption is enormous. Data centers worldwide consume about 2% of the total electricity. And if all your data is in the cloud of one provider, you are dependent on them. But despite these challenges, the cloud is indispensable. It is the foundation for everything we do on the internet today. So, let's summarize. The cloud is a global network of physical data centers with millions of servers. These are optimally utilized through virtualization. The cloud offers various service models, from pure infrastructure to development platforms to ready-made applications. It uses state-of-the-art network technologies to transport data at lightning speed. The cloud is the reason you can work from anywhere. It is the reason why a startup with 3 people can build an app that serves millions of users. It is the reason why you can store thousands of photos without having to worry about hard drives. And it is the reason why the AI revolution is even possible. Next time you upload a photo to the cloud, remember what really happens. Your request travels at the speed of light through fiber optic cables to one of the thousands of data centers on this planet. There, it is processed by intelligent systems that make decisions in milliseconds. Servers you will never see work together to deliver exactly what you need. But it is not a given. It is the result of decades of innovation, of the work of thousands of brilliant engineers. The cloud is one of the most complex systems humanity has ever created, and at the same time it is designed so that everyone can use it without having to understand how it works. That is true engineering, not to show off complexity but to hide it. The cloud is not magic. It is better than magic. It is real, it is tangible, and now you understand how it works. If you are curious and want to learn more, subscribe now for free.